The next lot is presented in partnership with the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, a once-in-a-lifetime experience aboard its newest super yacht, Luminara. 8 luxurious days from Rome to Barcelona, stopping in Saint-Tropez, Mallorca, and a specialist guided experience in Mougins for an intimate tour of femmes. This highly curated experience provides you access to world's greatest works. I will start the bidding this June, only at Sotheby's.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Sotheby's. My name is Helena Newman, and it's a pleasure to be your auctioneer for this evening's sale of modern and contemporary art presented by the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection. It has been wonderful to see the art world converge on London in the past week, as is the tradition at this time of year, and to welcome so many visitors here into the galleries. We put together a sale this season which feels very much of the moment, featuring works that resonate with today's conversations and the current exhibitions. We are thrilled to have a star lot by Tamara de Lempicka, who recently received her first ever retrospective in the US, and 2 masterpieces by Jenny Saville, coinciding with her critically acclaimed exhibition, which has just opened at the National Portrait Gallery here in London. Both are among a very strong showing of women artists in tonight's sale that also encompasses works by Barbara Hepworth, Elizabeth Peyton, Agnes Martin, and Marlow Moss. The evening's auction features a vast array of artists spanning 3 centuries, including the classics with works by Monet and his fellow Impressionists alongside Picasso and Matisse. We're also delighted to be offering a group of 6 works from the treasured personal collection of Dorothy and Roy Lichtenstein, coming in the wake of the artist's success just now in New York in May. And last but not least, tonight's sale includes several further standout works, from an exquisite interior scene by Hammershøi through to an icon of surrealist photography by Man Ray. Before we open the proceedings tonight, please note the following auctioneer's announcement. As noted in our conditions of business for buyers, everything is sold under the authenticity guarantee and on an as-is basis. Buyer's premium will be added to the hammer price of each lot offered, along with any applicable VAT or amount in lieu of VAT, as well as any applicable artist resale rights, royalty as part of the total purchase price payable. Please note that as of March 17, February 2025, Sotheby's buyer's premium payable on each lot for all categories, excluding wine and spirits, is as follows: 27% of the hammer price up to and including £800,000, plus 22% of the portion of the hammer price in excess of £800,000 up to and including £6 million, 15% on the portion of the hammer price in excess of £6 million. Please refer to the conditions of business for buyers for all full terms of sale. Please note the following lots have been withdrawn from this session of the sale: 16, 18, 19, and 42. So, with that, we can start this evening's proceedings with Lot 1. Lot 1, ladies and gentlemen, is the Yu Nishimura, and showing on the screen, thank you very much, the subject of a recent first solo exhibition at David Sverner in New York, and we will start the bidding here at £38,000. So £38,000, start this at £38,000, £40,000, now at £40,000. Now to start this lot at £40,000, £42,000, Fergus's bid at £42,000 now, at £42,000, £45,000 with Otterley, at £45,000, £48,000 online, who will give me 50, at £48,000 online, £50,000 with Fergus, at £50,000, £55,000 against you, £60,000 now, at £60,000, at £60,000, Otterley's bid, £65,000, £70,000 with the absentee bid at £70,000. Was there a bid in the room? Would you like to come in? 75, £80,000 against you at £80,000. So with the absentee bidder at £80,000, not with you, Otterley, and against you in the room, £85,000. Otterley's bid at £85,000. £90,000, Gregoire Biot, thank you very much, and £90,000 with Gregoire. 95, thank you, Otterley. £100,000, Lucius, thank you very much, at £100,000. Against you, Greg, against you, £110,000, thank you, Otterley, at £110,000 now. At 110, 120,000, thank you, I took in the room, thank you, madam, 120,000. Against the 3 of you on the phones, at 130, I took ahead, Otterley's bid at 130, 140 in the room, thank you. £140,000 in the room. Greg, Ottilie at £140,000. Not yours, Ottilie, not yours, Greg. I have the room bid at £140,000. You'd like to come back in? 145 I can take, but I think I already have 150 from Katia anyway, at 150, 160. Try to keep it in tens if you can, at 160,000. Katia, at 160,000, not yours, Ottilie, 170, thank you. Are you sure? New bid at 180, thank you, sir. 180,000, thank you very much for coming. At £180,000 now. 180, not yours, Katia, at £180,000 now. 190, say 200, I have here up front, at £200,000. £200,000 now, at £200,000. Not yours, Katia, at £200,000, I have in the room. We say one more, 210,000, 220. 220,000. £220,000. 220,000 still here in the room. 230. You sure? Thank you anyway. At £230,000, I shall sell it. First lot in this evening's sale. Thank you all for your bids at 230,000. Thank you, Katia. That is number 22. Thank you all. 230,000. Which brings us straight to lot 2, the Joseph Jaeger from an important private collection here in the UK. And we will start here at £30,000. Here, 30,000, 32,000 now, 32,000 now. At £32,000 now, 32,000, 35,000, at £35,000 now, at £35,000 now, at 35,000, 38,000, thank you, sir, 38,000, at 38,000, 40,000, at 42,000, 45, 48,000, £48,000 now, at 48,000, at 48,000, against you both, absentee bid, 48,000, 50,000, at 50,000, at £50,000, 55, 60,000, 75, all the better. Thank you for jumping ahead at 75,000. We get there. We were quicker night at £75,000 up front. Not yours. I have here up front at 75,000. 80 online just came in at 80 online. Are you sure? I want to try one more. I have the bid now. £80,000 online on Sotheby's.com. And against you all here in the rooms, and I shall sell it at £80,000. You're all done. Fair warning, at £80,000. Sold to the online bidder, thank you very much. Paddle 19. And now we move to lot 5. Wonderful work by Lucas Arruda being shown to us here on the easel from a private collection acquired directly from the artist. Thank you. And we will start here at 100,000 and 100,000 pounds. Now 100,000, 110,000 pounds, 120,000 now, at 120,000 pounds now, at 120, 130,000 pounds. Kelsey's bid at 130,000 pounds now, 130,000, 140,000 against you, at 140,000 pounds, 150, thank you, madam, at 150,000, 160, I have already against you both. 165, thank you, but will you say 170 or 165? 180, all the better, at 180,000. Give me one more. 180,000 pounds. 185,000. 185,000. Try 190. 185,000. Ladies' bid up front at 180, 190,000. 190,000, you sure? 190,000 pounds. Try one more. And 190,000, I will sell it on Kelsey's for 195. Thank you very much. Will you say 200? At 195,000 pounds now. 200,000 pounds. At 200,000 pounds, thank you anyway. At 200,000 pounds, I will sell it on Kelsey's bid at 200,000 pounds. Sold. Thank you, Kelsey. That's 63. Lot 6 is the wonderful work by Elizabeth Peyton, Leah Manoel, painted in 1996 at this moment of global dominance for Oasis, and now the moment is here again. We're just about to have the revival tour. The Gallagher brothers here, showing here on my left, Elizabeth Peyton's wonderful double portrait. And we start here at £1.2 million here, 1.2 million. At 1,200,000 here, 1,200,000, 1,300,000 now. At 1,300,000 pounds, 1,400,000 with Johan Naukhoff, thank you very much. At 1,400,000 pounds now. At 1,400,000, 1,500,000. At 1,500,000, 1,600,000 with Johan again. At 1,600,000 pounds, it's your bid, Johan. At 1,600,000 pounds, and any advance here. At 1,600,000 pounds for the patent, and I can sell it, Johan's bid, at 1,600,000 pounds. You're all done and selling at 1.6. Sold. Thank you very much. That's number 41. Congratulations, Johan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the first of the two magnificent works by Jenny Saville to be offered in tonight's sale, Mirror. It's wonderful, large-scale, 8-foot across, monumental work on paper, seeped with historical references from Manet and Titian, Giorgione and Picasso. And we're thrilled to be offering Mirror here tonight in this evening sale from an important collection. We will start the bidding here at £600,000. At £600,000. Start this lot at £600,000. Several bids at 650 with Fergus. 700, Lisa Stevenson, thank you, at 750. Thank you very much. At 750 with Fergus, at 750. £800,000. Tamsin at £800,000. Tamsin's bid at 800,000, 850 back with Fergus stuff at £850,000. Now, and against you, Lisa, against you, Tamsin, at 850. £900,000 now, at £900,000 now. Tamsin's bid 950,000, and against you at £950,000, say a million, at £950,000 for this masterpiece of draftsmanship at £950,000. Where do I see? There you are. Thank you very much, sir. £1 million we have in the room. Thank you very much, sir. At £1 million, will you say 1-1? At 1 million, 1-1 we have here with Fergus. £1,100,000 now. £1,100,000 with Fergus. At £1,100,000. £1,200,000, Tamsin, thank you. At £1,200,000, will you come back in? At £1,200,000, it's against you. At £1,200,000, sir. At £1,200,000, it's your bid, Tamsin, Fergus. At £1,200,000, try once more. This great drawing. We're not going to find another one like that. At 1,200,000, 1,300,000, thank you, or 250. 1,250 is also a great bid. Thank you, Gregoire. At 1,250,000, 1,300,000, and still climbing with Tamsin, thank you. At 1,300,000. 1,350,000. 1,350,000 with Gregoire. At 1,350,000, 1,400,000. At £1,400,000. Tamsin's bid, give me 50. 1,450,000, Gregoire Biot again, 1,450,000, say 1,500,000. At £1,450,000, 1,500,000 I have, at £1.5 million. And what do you say? £1,500,000, £1,500,000. £1,500,000, still with Tamsin, at £1,500,000 in Gregoire. Not one to let go. At £1,500,000. Want to try one more? There it is, £1,550,000. £1,550,000. At £1,550,000 with Greg. 1,600,000. Determined there. 1,600,000. £1,600,000. You sure? Absolutely certain. I have Tamsin's bid. It's not yours up front, but thank you anyway for your bids. And selling then, thank you all, for £1.6 million. Ah, coming back in. At 1,600,000, it's still with Tamsin. The hammer is up. You sure? I think there's one more bid coming. You better bring it now. £1,600,000. Take 50. 1,600,000. I have Tamsin's bid. The hammer was already up. And the suspense. There it is at 1,650,000. Thank you, Greg. At 1,650,000. 1,650,000. 1.7. Thank you. And now, you sure this time at 1,700,000? Try one more. Thank you anyway. And selling, thank you for your patience all, this masterpiece by Saville on paper for 1.7 million. Congratulations, Tamsin. Which brings us to lot 8, the wonderful work by Pablo Picasso, Nu assis dans un fauteuil. This is a work from the 60s, a wonderful, vibrant, and powerful depiction of Picasso's wife, Jacqueline Roch, appearing at auction for the very first time. This painting was included in one of the last exhibitions held in Picasso's lifetime, homage to Picasso for his 90th birthday, which was organized in New York in 1971. Here it is showing on the easel. And we will start here at £5 million here, at £5 million for the Picasso, £5 million, pounds, £5,200,000, at £5,200,000 now, at £5,200,000, £5,400,000, Simon Shaw's bid at £5,400,000 now, at £5,400,000 with Simon, £5,600,000, at £5,600,000 now, at £5,600,000 now, at £5,600,000, £5,800,000 with Simon, thank you, at £5,800,000 now. It's Simon Shaw's bid at £5,800,000 and any advance at £5,800,000. Are you all done? At £5,800,000, all done and selling, fair warning, at £5.8 million. Sold. Many congratulations. Thank you, Simon. 69. Which brings us to lot 9, which is the Basquiat, Untitled Indian Head, showing here up front. Wonderful drawing from 1981, a pivotal year in Basquiat's career. And please note this work has been requested for the exhibition Headstrong, Basquiat on paper, to take place at the Louisiana Museum of Art in Denmark, and which is set to be the first comprehensive exhibition devoted to the artist's heads. And we will start here at £3,800,000, at £3,800,000, at £3,004 million with Greg at £4 million. Now Greg's bid at £4 million, £4,100,000. Haley at £4,100,000, at £4,100,000. £4,200,000 with James Francis Fox at £4,200,000, £4,003,000 with Haley at £4,300,000, £4,400,000, excuse me, with Gregoire, £4,400,000 at £4,400,000, £4,500,000. Haley's bid at £4,500,000. Will you say 4.6, James? At £4,500,000 with Haley at £4,500,000, 4.6. Thank you very much. At £4,600,000 with James at £4,600,000. You want to go one more? At £4,700,000. At £4,700,000 now. At £4,700,000. 4.8. £4,800,000 with James. 4.9. Haley's bid now at £4,900,000. £4,900,000. Haley's bid. 5 million. Thank you, James. £5 million for the Basquiat. £5 million now. Try one more. Have James's bid at £5 million. Haley, you coming back in? Try one more at £5 million, £5,100,000. Thank you. At £5,100,000. Haley's bid against you, James, at £5,100,000 now. And try one more. 5.2. Thank you. £5,200,000. £5,200,000 now. Try one more. £5,200,000. 5.3. Thank you so much. At £5,300,000. Not yours, James. You've come so far. 5.4. Yes, thank you. £5,400,000. Give it one more. Still with James. Try one more. I have £5,400,000. Want to round it up to 5.5? Here still with James Francis Fox, determined on the Basquiat. Like to go one more? Haley? £5,400,000 now. Coming back in. I have to speed you up. I have James's bid, and thank you for all your bids, but I have the hammer up at £5,400,000, and I can sell it, you sure, at £5,400,000. Thank you, James. Congratulations, 108. And now we come to the first of 6 works by Roy Lichtenstein to be offered tonight from the personal collection of Dorothy and Roy Lichtenstein. And Seductive Girl is this one, classic example from the artist's late nude series. And we start here at £400,000, so £400,000 here at £400,000, £420,000 here, £420,000, £450,000, £480,000. Thank you very much for coming in person, £480,000. Will you say 500? At 480 I have in the room at 480,000, 500 with Ottilie at £500,000. Now 550, thank you, 600, 650, 700 with Ottilie at 700,000, 750, Antonia at 750,000, thank you so much, at £750,000. With 750,000, Antonia's bid at 750,000, and any further advances here in the room at £750,000. Not yours, Ottilie, it's with Antonia, and selling, fair warning, are you all done, at 750,000. Sold, thank you, Antonia, congratulations. 58 it was, yeah. Lot 11 is the Lichtenstein Water Lilies, paying homage, of course, to Monet's Water Lilies. There are further screen prints from the Water Lily series held here in London at Tate. Marvellous work here, and we would start here at 240,000, at 240, 260,000, at 260,000, 280,000 out, 280,000, at 300,000 now with Lucius, at 300,000 now, at 300,000, 320,000. At 320,000, James's bid at 320, 340 with Lucius. At 340,000, Lucius's bid at 340,000. At 340,000, 360. Thank you, James. Okay, I'll take 350. Yeah, at £350,000. James's bid at 350,000. Lucius, do you want to come back in? At £350,000 now. At £350,000. It's not yours, Lucius. I have James's bid. It's against you online at £350,000. Selling to James's phone at 350. Sold. Thank you, 108. Lot 12. Now we come to the purest still life with picture. Thank you, showing here in the sale room, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to show it off there on the front of the sale room. Lot 12, the wonderful Lichtenstein purest still life, and we will start the bidding here at £2 million. Here, 2,100,000, 2,200,000, at £2,200,000 now, at £2,200,000, at £2,300,000 with Gregoire, £2,300,000. It's Greg's bid at £2,300,000 now, at £2,300,000, £2,400,000 against you. At 2,400,000, back with Greg at £2,500,000 now. It's Greg's bid at £2,500,000. I have with Greg at £2,500,000, and I can sell it on Greg's bid at £2,500,000 unless anyone else wants to come in for the purest still life. I have £2,500,000 with Greg, and against you, £2,550,000. Thank you, Ollie. At £2,550,000 is your bid. At £2,550,000, would you give me 2,600,000? At £2,550,000. And against you, Gregoire, try 2,600,000. I have Ollie's bid, £2,550,000. Would you like to come back in? At £2,550,000. Otherwise, I have Ollie's bid at £2,550,000. Oliver Barker at £2,550,000. Not yours, Greg. And selling at £2,550,000. Congratulations, thank you, sold. That's number 46, thank you. And now we come to lot 13, the beautiful work by David Hockney, 2 sunflowers laying on a table. Thrilling to have this work in the same season as the great show in Paris at the Fondation Louis Vuitton. And this work belongs to a series of 25 still life paintings from 1996, a year which marked a remarkable return to painting by Hockney. And we will start here bidding at £1,500,000 here, £1,500,000, £1,500,000, £1,600,000 now, at £1,600,000, at £1,600,000, at £1,600,000, £1,700,000, at £1,700,000, £1,800,000, Andre Slattinger, £1,800,000, thank you very much, at £1,800,000 now with Andre. On my left, at £1,800,000. It's Andre's bid at £1,800,000. At £1,800,000 now. At £1,800,000. Are you coming here on my right? £1,800,000 now. £1,900,000. At £1,900,000 now. At £1,900,000. Try one more. £1,900,000. £2 million I have with Andre. At £2 million, it's Andre's bid. At £2 million for the Hockney. Thank you very much. And I can sell it at £2 million, unless there's any further advance. This wonderful painting at £2 million. Thank you, Andre. Congratulations. 35 is the number. And now we come to lot 14. Which is the Tamara de Lempicka, La Belle Raffaella, showing here up front in the sale room, one of the starlots of this evening's sale. Her powerfully seductive painting has been described by critics and scholars as one of the most remarkable nudes of the century and the highest achievement of the painter's career. Fresh to the market, this painting has been held in the same private collection for over 25 years and has not appeared at auction in 4 decades. It recently starred in a major retrospective in the US, in San Francisco, and in Houston. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, La Belle Raffaella. And we will start here at £4,800,000 here, at £4,800,000 here to start the slot, at £4,800,000 now, at £5 million with Fergus, at £5 million I have on my left, at £5 million here, at £5 million here. On my left, at £5 million, £5,200,000. At £5,200,000 now. At £5,500,000 with Fergus again. At £5,500,000 now. At £5,500,000 with Fergus. At £5,500,000 now. At £5,500,000 now. At £5,800,000. I can take 5,600,000. Thank you very much, sir. At 5,600,000. Thank you, sir. At £5,600,000 now. At 5,600,000. At 5,700,000 now. At 5,700,000, 5,800,000 now. At £5,800,000 now. £6 million on my left. At £6 million. Did you say one? Will you give me one? 6,100,000. Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you very much. At 6,100,000. Thank you. At 6,000,001 I have in the room. At £6,100,000. At £6,100,000. And Fergus, what do you say? I know you're laughing, but we have £6,100,000. Fabulous painting at £6,100,000. Have the bid in the room. You can try one more. Give me 2. At £6,100,000 with the bidder in the room. And against you, Fergus, I have £6,100,000. You want to try one more, not one to lose this, you sure? Thank you anyway. I will take the bid in the room at £6,100,000. Are you sure? At £6,100,000 for the Lempicka. Thank you very much, sir. And Ottilie, you were keeping very quiet over there. At £6,100,000, the hammer was nearly up. Do you want to come in? At £6,100,000? Ottilie? No? You sure? Thank you anyway. Thank you for your patience. I will sell it at 6.1. Thank you, sir. 599 is the number. Congratulations. Thank you very, very much. And now we move on to lot 15, which is the stunning work by Man Ray, Noir et Blanche, an icon of surrealism, One of the most celebrated images of the 20th century was first published in French Vogue in 1926. No two prints of Noir et Blanche are identical, and only one other similarly cropped early print of this image has been located in the Museum of Fine Arts, Houston, and this particular Noir et Blanche was one of the first to appear at auction, selling at Sotheby's in Belgravia in 1978. So we're honored to have it return here to the rostrum some 50 years later. Here it is, the magnificent icon, Kiki de Montparnasse, Man Ray's Noir et Blanche. And we start here at £900,000 here, £900,000 here, 950,000, at 950,000, £1 million. Now at £1 million, at £1 million, at £1 million for the Man Ray, at £1 million here, at £1 million, at £1 million here for the fabulous, very, very rare photograph by Man Ray, one of the icons of surrealism. We have here at £1 million here, 1,100,000 with Emily Bierman. Thank you very much for coming from New York to bid on this great masterpiece. Thank you at £1,100,000 now, at £1,100,000 with Emily, at £1,100,000, £1,200,000 with Phoebe. Thank you very much. At £1,200,000, give me one. At £1,200,000, £1,300,000. At £1,300,000, now £1,400,000. £1,400,000 with Phoebe Liu. At £1,400,000, £1,500,000 now. Here we have it. At £1.5 million now. 1.6 and still climbing. At £1,600,000. £1,600,000. At £1,600,000, Emily. £1,600,000. Try one more. 1,600,000. 1,700,000. Thank you. At 1,700,000. 1.8. 1.8. You don't want to bid? I have them 1.7. I have 1,700,000, not to worry. I still have my 1.7 with Emily at 1,700,000 you have done. Thank you anyway, Phoebe. No more. At 1,700,000, I will sell it on Emily Bierman's phone. Masterpiece by Man Ray, thank you all. And selling at 1.7 million. Sold, thank you very much. 28 it is, congratulations. So here we are. Lot 17 is the Jenny Saville juncture from an important collection, the second of two works by Jenny Saville to be offered in tonight's sale. The incredible monumental juncture belongs to a suite of blockbuster paintings produced between 1992 and 1997, including the artist's record-breaking Propped, which was sold in this very room in 2018 and is currently on view in her critically acclaimed show at the National Portrait Gallery. It's, of course, exceptionally rare for one of Saville's large-scale nudes from the 1990s to appear at auction, and we're thrilled to present this tonight in this evening's sale, Juncture. And we start here at £3,800,000, here at £3,800,000, £4 million now, at £4 million now, at £4 million now, at £4 million, £4,200,000, at £4,200,000 now, at £4,200,000 here, at £4,200,000 for this Saville masterpiece, monumental oil, at £4,400,000 with Alex Branchik, at £4,400,000 here with Alex Branchik, our chairman of modern and contemporary art here in London, at £4,400,000, at £4,400,000, £4,600,000, at £4,600,000 now, at £4,600,000 for this masterpiece by Saville, at £4,600,000, and against you, Alex, at £4,600,000, at £4,600,000 now, £4,800,000. Thank you, Alex. At £4,800,000. It's your bid at £4,800,000 now. At £4,800,000, and I can sell it at £4,800,000. And any advance on the side at £4,800,000. It's Alex's bid. Thank you very much for the Saville, and selling. Are you all done here in the room and online at £4,800,000? Sold. Many congratulations. Thank you. 74. And we move on straight on to lot 20, which is the Christopher Wool from an important private collection, Nation Time, showing here up front on this side of the sale room, being pointed out to you now. Thank you very much. And we will start here at £600,000 here, 600,000, at £600,000, at 600,000, 650,000, at £650,000, at £700,000 with Oliver Barker, at £700,000 now, at £700,000, Ollie's bid at 750,000, 800,000 still with Ollie at £800,000 here I have on my right, at £800,000 for the Christopher Wool, and I can sell it at £800,000 unless there's any further advance here in the room at £800,000. All done, fair warning, at £800,000. Sold, thank you, Ollie. And that was number 101, thank you.
The next lot is presented in partnership with the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, a once-in-a-lifetime experience aboard its newest super yacht, Luminara. 8 luxurious days from Rome to Barcelona, stopping in Saint-Tropez, Mallorca, and a specialist guided experience in Mougins for an intimate tour of femmes. This highly curated experience provides you access to world's greatest works. I will start the bidding this June, only at Sotheby's.
Lot 22, we move on now to the Ansam Kiefer, untitled Monument on the River. This is lot 22, wonderful woodcut and oil on paper by Ansam Kiefer from 1992, from an important private collection. And we will start here at £200,000 here, 200,000, 220,000, 220,000, 250,000, 280,000 now, at 280,000, 300,000 with Charlotte Ladden, at £300,000 here I have on my right, at £300,000 for the Kiefer, at £300,000 with Charlotte for the Kiefer, at £300,000. And any advance here? Otherwise, I shall sell it at £300,000. All done in the room and selling at £300,000. Sold. Thank you very much. That's number 11. Thank you, Charlotte. And now we move to the first of the group of Impressionist paintings from a private American collection, starting with Claude Monet's Aux Petites Dalles, wonderful painting from the summer of 1884, painted in Normandy. Radiant work coming to the auction for the first time in 25 years. And we will start here at £3,800,000, at £3,800,000, at £3,800,000, 4 million, at £4 million now, at £4 million, at £4 million now, at £4 million, 4,200,000, at £4,200,000, at £4,200,000, 4,600,000. Very nice bid. Thank you very much, Nick. At £4,600,000, we jump to at £4,600,000 with Nick Damel at £4,600,000. And any further advance at £4,600,000 I have. Francis, are you coming in at £4,600,000? It's against you all in the room. It's a wonderful Impressionist painting from the 1880s. I have Nick's bid at £4,600,000. And are you coming in at £4,600,000? Otherwise, I can sell it at £4,600,000. It's against you, Francis. Try one bid. At £4,600,000. Nick Damel from Zurich. His bid at £4,600,000 is not yours, Francis. It's not yours in the room. Have to speed you up. If you want to try one bid at £4,600,000, thank you anyway, at £4,600,000. Sold, Nick, thank you very much. And that's number 102. Congratulations. Which brings us now onto the Sisley, beautiful work of the Le Pont de Sèvres, en fin de journée. Beautiful painting shown here on the left. And we start here at £300,000, at £300,000, 320,000, at £320,000 now. At £320,000 here, at 320, 340, 340,000, 360,000 now, 380 with Julian, thank you, at £380,000, Julian Dawes, at £380,000 now, at £380,000, it's against you in the room, at £380,000, I have Julian's bid here, at £380,000, with Julian Dawes at 380,000. Any advance here in the room? At 380,000. Sold, thank you very much, Julian. 88, thank you. Lot 26 is the Pissarro Garde's Doigt, a beautiful, beautiful neo-impressionist painting. And we start here at £600,000 here, 600,000, 620,000, at 620,000, at 650,000, at 650,000, 680,000, at 680, 700,000 with Julian at £700,000. Julian's bid again at £700,000 for this Pissarro. At 720,000, Thomas Boy Bowman, thank you very much, at £720,000. And against you, Julian, at 720,000, give me 50. At £720,000, it's Thomas's bid at £720,000 now. Try one more, Julian, at 740. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. £740,000 in the room now. At 740,000, gentleman's bid at 740,000. 750. Will you try 60? 760. Thank you, sir. 760 now in the room. £760,000 in the room. Against you both, Thomas and Julian. I have 770, 780, thank you, sir. 780,000. 780,000 is not yours, Thomas, or Julian. That's £780,000. 790, £800,000. Thank you, sir. £800,000 now for the Pissarro. £800,000. Try one more, Thomas. 820. 840,000, thank you. At 840,000, thank you, sir. 840,000, not yours, Thomas. You out? At 840,000, you try one more. At £840,000 now. In the room, thank you, sir. At 840,000, 860, and still climbing. 880, 880,000. Try 900. £880,000. Still waiting. Beautiful, neo-impressionist, 880,000. Yes, 900, 920. Thank you for your quick bidding. £920,000. Gentleman's bid in the room at 920. And not yours, Thomas. At £920,000. You out. Thank you anyway, Thomas. It's still your bid. It's not yours, Julian. And selling then in the room for the Pissarro at £920,000. Sold. Congratulations, sir. Thank you very much. Which brings us to the second work by Pissarro in this group, the Paysage à Iranie, lot 27. And £400,000, I have to start this off at 400, 420,000, 450,000, 450,000, 480,000 now, at £480,000 now, at £480,000, £500,000 with Julia Official at £500,000. Julia's bid at £500,000 for the Pissarro. At £500,000, it's Julia's bid, 520, thank you. Scott Nichelle at 520, and against you now, Julia, at 500. 550. Julia's bid, £550,000. 560 we can take of 560 with Scott. Try 580 if you can. 570 is inevitable. 570. No, Julia's bid still at £570,000. And Noto's online at £570,000. Julia's bid at 570. Francis, would you like to bid? No, I have Julia Official's bid from London here at £570,000. Sold. Thank you very much. That's 79. And now we come to the last of the works in the group, which is the Fontaine-Latour, Pivoine, lot 28. And we have 150,000 150,000 to start this, 150,000, 160, 160, 170, 170. Will you say 180? 100 and, will you say 180? Thank you very much. Julian's bid at £180,000 is your bid, Julian. At £180,000 with Julian Dawes, at £180,000 here, and I can sell it at £180,000 only, unless there's any advance here in the room, on the Fontaine-Latour at £180,000. Would you like 190? I have now online, actually. £190,000 with the online bidder on Sotheby's.com. Thank you for your bid. Who will give me 200? At £190,000, it's not yours, Julian, now. It's selling to the online bidder. At £190,000, you're out. I will sell it then online at £190,000. Sold. Thank you very much to the bidder on Sotheby's.com. That's 47. Congratulations. And now we move on to the beautiful work by Hammersoil, number 29, lot 29. And this is Sunshine in the Drawing Room. It's a wonderful work that remained hidden from public view in the family of its first owner for more than a century. And please note this work has been requested for a major 2027 Hammersoil exhibition, Pictures from Home, at the Art Institute of Chicago and at the Frick in New York. So here it is, Hammersoil's Sunshine in the Drawing Room, number 2. And we will start the bidding here at £1,600,000 here. At £1,600,000, £1,700,000, at £1,700,000, £1,800,000 now. At £1,800,000, £1,900,000, at £1,900,000 now. At £1,900,000, was that a bid? At £1,900,000 now. At £1,900,000 now. At £1,900,000, £2 million. At £2 million now. £2.2 million with Peder Isaacson, here flown in for the sale for the great Hammersoil. Thank you very much for being with us, Peder. At £2,200,000 we have for the Hammersoil. Masterpiece by the artist at £2,200,000 is your bid, Peder. At £2,200,000 for this wonderful work, not seen for 100 years. At £2,200,000, I have Peder's bid at £2,200,000, and I can sell it at £2.2 million, unless there's any further advance. I'm selling at £2,200,000. Sold. Many congratulations. Thank you. It's 118. And lot 30 is the Liechtenstein beach scene, showing here with starfish. And some interest in this lot. I start already at 160,000, 160,000, 170, at 170,000, 180,000, at 180,000, 190,000. No, I have already 200. Will you say 210? At 200,000, I have already with the absentee bidder at £200,000. Who will break the absentee bid? I have already at 200,000, madam. Would you like to try one more? At £200,000. At 200,000, I have the absentee bidder at £200,000. And against you, with the absentee bidder, and is there any advance here in the room at £200,000? I have, and I can sell it at £200,000 for the beach study. At 200,000, are you coming in? I shall sell it, madam, unless you'd like to try one more, at £200,000. Sold, absentee. 105 it is. And then we come to lot 31, which is the Liechtenstein interior. And we will start here at 450,000, at 450,000 here, at 450,000 I have already, at £450,000 here, at 500,000 with Tom, at £500,000 I have already with Tom Edison, at 500,000, 550,000 against you, £600,000, Tom's bid at £600,000 now. At £600,000, Tom Edison's bid at £600,000 for the Liechtenstein, and I can sell it at £600,000 unless you'd like to come in with any further advance. I have 600,000 with Tom at £600,000. Not yours, Ottilie, at £600,000. At £600,000, I have with Tom at £600,000, and I will sell it then on Tom Edison's phone at £600,000. Sold. Thank you very much. 51. Congratulations. And now, lot 32. Sold as viewed, but I'm sure many of you enjoyed seeing it. The Liechtenstein Woman with Mirror, lot 32. And some interest again, we start here already at £180,000 here, at 180, 190,000, 190,000, 200,000 pounds now. At 200,000, 220,000 pounds. 230,000 with Lucius at 230,000 pounds, 240,000 Ottilie's bid at 240,000 pounds now, and against you, Lucius, at 240,000 pounds. Ottilie's bid still at 240,000, 250 with David, thank you very much, at 250,000 pounds, 260. 260 against you now, both of you, David Rothschild and Lucius, at 260,000 pounds. The bid is with Ottilie. At 270, thank you so much, at 270,000 pounds, 280, at 280,000. Now, at 280,000 pounds, 280,000 with Ottilie still, at 280,000, 290 we have now, and who will you give me 300? 300, there it is, thank you, at 300,000 pounds. 300,000 pounds. You try one more. At 300,000 pounds. Against you, David. At 300. Try 20. At 300,000 pounds. Ottilie's bid still. At 300,000 pounds. You would like to try one more? I think there's another bid coming from you. At 300,000. 320 it is. Thank you, David Rothschild's bid. At 320. 330, thank you. Back with Ottilie at 330,000. 330,000 pounds. 340, thank you, David. 340,000 pounds. 350, quickly back in at 350,000 pounds. We try one more at 350. Give me 60. 350,000 pounds. Still with Ottilie. No, but thank you for your bids. I will sell it then on Ottilie's phone at 350,000 pounds. Sold. Many congratulations. Thank you. It's 58. Now we move to lot 33. Which is the Alex Cat, sold as viewed, lavender shirt. Thank you so much. And we start here at £400,000, at £400,000 here, 400,000, 450,000, at 450,000, 500,000 now, at 500,000, 550,000 pounds with Lucius Elliott, at 550,000 pounds here on my right with Lucius, at 550,000 pounds with Lucius's bid, at 550,000 pounds here on my right, at 550,000 pounds, 560 with Fergus, new bidder, at 560,000. We carry on at 560,000 pounds. Fergus stuff at 560,000 pounds. New bid at 560,000 pounds now with Fergus against you, Lucius, at 560,000 pounds. Try one more. I'll take 70. Thank you anyway. Then it's Fergus's phone at 560,000. Congratulations, 49. That's sold. Thank you, Fergus. And now we move on to the Matisse from an eminent private collector. This is the Matisse Femme à l'ombrelle verte from his early Nice paintings of 1919. Coming with a distinguished provenance, having originally belonged to the Pierre Berès collection. And we start here at £1,600,000, £1,600,000, £1,700,000, £1,800,000 now, at £1,800,000, £1,900,000 now, at £1,950,000 with Julian Dawes. £2 million here I have now already on my right with Charlotte Loudon at £2 million, thank you very much. At £2 million, Charlotte's bid at £2 million now. At £2 million I have here on my right at £2 million with Charlotte Loudon at £2 million. Are you coming in? At £2 million here? At £2 million, I have here on my right, at £2 million, it's not yours up front, at £2 million, Charlotte Spitstill. Against you online, 2,100,000. Thank you, sir. At 2,100,000. Would you like to come back in? You sure? At 2,100,000. Still with you then, sir. At £2,100,000 now. I have in the room at 2,100,000 for the Matisse. Are you all done? Are you all done? Fair warning. At £2,100,000. Yes, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Congratulations. Lot 38, we come to the beautiful work by Cadell from an important private collection, the Cheval Glass. Wonderful painting showing here. And we start here at £200,000 here, 200,000. At £200,000 now already. At £200,000 here. At £200,000 now. At 200,000, 220,000 now. At £220,000 now. At £220,000. At £220,000. At 220,000 here. At £220,000 now. Are you coming in? At 220,000, 250,000 I have now online. Thank you very much. Welcome on Sotheby's.com. Thank you. At £250,000 for the online bidder. Thank you very much. At 250,000 for the Cadell. Beautiful work showing here, and I can sell it at £250,000 unless there's any advance in the room or on the phones. It's your bid online. Thank you very much. At 250,000. Sold. Congratulations. That's number 86. And lot 39 is the William Nicholson. And this is the White Chrysanthemums from a private English collection. And we start here at only £160,000. At £160,000 now. £160,000. At 160, 170,000 now. At £170,000 now. At 170,000. At £170,000 now. At 170,000 now. At £170,000 now. 170,000. 170,000, 180,000 now. At £180,000 now. 180,000. 180,000, 190, 190,000 now, £190,000, £190,000 now, £190,000 for the Nicholson, at £190,000, at £190,000, at 195,000. Thank you very much, Ollie. At £195,000 now I have on my right, and I can sell it at £195,000. Oliver Barker's bid. Thank you at £195,000. Sold. Thank you very much, Ollie. That is 45. Thank you. Which brings us to the wonderful work by Peploe, formerly in the collection of Major Harrison. Melon, Grapes and Apples, a marvellous still life showing here. And we start here at £150,000, £160,000 now, £160,000, £170,000 now, £170,000, £180,000 now, at £180,000 now, at £180,000 now, at £180,000, £190,000, at £190,000, will you say 200? At £190 I have against you. At £190,000, will you say 200? At £190,000, 200,000. Thank you, with Tamsin at £200,000. At £200,000, Tamsin's bid at £200,000. Against you, Ollie. I have 200 here. I can sell it for £200,000 only for the Peploe. 205. Thank you. At £205,000, I have. At £205,000, give me 10. 210, I have. Are you going to say 215? Yes, it is. £215,000. £215,000. 220,000. Takes an auctioneer to let you get away with £5,000 at 225. There it is, at 225,000. At 225,000. Ollie's bid. 230. 230,000. Yep. Thank you anyway. I'm selling then Tamsin's phone at £230,000. Sold, that's 67, thank you very much. Which brings us to lot 41, which is marvellous work by Marlow Moss, Property of a Lady, wonderful piece by one of the leading British artists to be associated with the Distill movement. White, black, blue and red is a rare survival from the artist's early period and was painted on the Cornish Peninsula in 1944 after the artist fled Europe for England. Showing here on my left, and considerable interest here. We will start already at £150,000 here, already at £150,000, £160,000, £170,000 already. I have a 170, £180,000. Thank you very much, sir. £180,000 now. A £180,000 I have in the room at 180, a 190 against you, 190, £200,000 here, a 200,000, 220 with Kelsey. Thank you. A £220,000, Kelsey's bid. A £220,000 here. At £220,000 here, at 220,000, 240,000 new bidder with Bame at £240,000, and against you, sir, at 260,000 with Nick at 280. There it is, Johan at £280,000 here, and against you, £300,000. Not yours, Nick. I took Bame at £300,000 now. At 320, thank you, Nick. At £320,000. And Bame, come back in. At £320,000 with Nick Dymel. At £320,000. Not yours, sir. 350, yes, thank you. At 350,000 now. At £350,000. 360, 80, even better, thank you. At 380,000. Tom's bid at 380. Who will say 400 first? At £380,000. 400,000, I took ahead of you with Bame. 420 now, Simon Stock, new bidder, thank you very much. At £420,000 now. Against you, Bame, and Tom, and Nick. 450,000. Bame's bid of £450,000 at £450,000. Bame's bid, not yours, Nick, at £450,000. Simon at £450,000. I have still with Bame at £450,000. 460, thank you, Tom, at £460,000 now with Tom. 480, thank you very much, £480,000 with Bame, and against you, Tom and Simon at 480,000, but I'm looking for £500,000 for this very rare work by Marlow Moss. At 480, I have with Bame at 480,000. It's still Bame's bid at £480,000, and who will give me one more? At 480,000, Simon, still with Bame, not yours, Nick, and selling then at £480,000. Sold. Many congratulations. Thank you, Bame. That is indeed a world record price for the artist. Congratulations. And we move on straight on to lot 43, which is the Luke Toyman's property from a prestigious American collection, sold as viewed. Thank you so much. And we start here at £280,000. I have already started 280,000 at £280,000 at £280,000 now. At £280,000 at £300,000 with Mackie at 300,000. 320, thank you, madam, at 320,000 in the room here, at £320,000 now, at 320,000, still in the room, at 320, 350, thank you, Mackie, at 350, will you say one more? You sure? At £350,000, I have Mackie's bid at 350,000, it's not yours, madam, at 350,000 for the Toymans, at 350,000, still with Mackie, at £350,000, and I can sell it, it's not yours, Lisa, at £350,000. Sold, many congratulations, that's paddle 8, it's very good luck. Which brings us on to the second work by Basquiat in this evening's sale, wonderful drawing, property from an important European collection, showing here on the easel. And we will start the bidding here at £400,000 here, at £400,000. at 400,000, 420,000 with Eddie. Thank you very much, at 420,000 pounds. Eddie's bid at 420,000 pounds here. Eddie Auchan at 420,000 pounds here. At 420,000 pounds here. At 450,000 with Grégoire. At 480,000, Eddie's back in at 480,000. 520 up front at 520,000 pounds. Thank you, sir. No, 550. It's 550,000 pounds. At 550,000 pounds. Thank you. 580,000 with Grégoire. Will you say 600? At 580,000. At 580,000, still with Grégoire. 580,000 pounds. At 580,000 pounds, give me 600. At 580,000 pounds, you want to try 600? At 580,000 pounds, it's not yours, Eddie. Thank you anyway, sir. At 580,000, I have Grégoire's bid. I'm selling it, or do you want to come in at 600? At 580,000 pounds, you try one more. At 580,000 pounds, it's still with Grégoire. Thank you anyway. Sold, thank you very much. Paddle 50 for 580,000. And now we come to lot 46, which is the Michel Majerus. Thank you, sold as viewed. This is the first of the group of 40 works from the Liber collection, which we offered across our sales here in London this June. This extraordinary collection of contemporary art brings together artists from different generations and reflects a deep and passionate engagement with art. And so we begin with Space by Michel Majerus. This is lot 46. And we start here at £100,000, here at 100,000, 110,000 pounds, 120,000 pounds, at 120,000 pounds here, 130,000, at 130,000 pounds here, at 130,000, 140,000, at 140,000, 150,000 pounds here on my right, at 150,000 pounds, the gentleman's bid in the room, at 150,000 pounds here, at 150,000 pounds I have in the room. Thank you, sir. At 150,000 pounds, and any advance for the Majerus at 150,000 pounds. It's a gentleman's bid at 150,000. I took the bid in the room, yes, at 150,000 pounds, and I can sell it here in the room at 150,000 pounds. You all done and selling at 150. Sold. Many thanks, congratulations, that's 515, thank you, sir. Which brings us to lot 47, which is the Agnes Martin, also sold as viewed. And we will start here the bidding at £500,000 here, at 500,000 to start here, at 500,000, 520,000, at 520,000 pounds here, at 520,000 pounds, 550,000 with Alex, at 600 with Kelsey already, 650 with Alex, 700. At 700,000, I have already with Kelsey at 700,000 pounds now, and against you, Alex, at 700,000 pounds, not yours, Antonia. At 700,000, 750 with Bame, thank you very much. At 750,000 pounds, 800,000. I took ahead of you, Antonia, with Kelsey at 800,000 pounds, and against you, Bame. At 800,000, 850, Antonia's bid at 850,000 pounds now. At 850,000, not your Bame. At 850,000, give me 900. Antonia's bid at 850,000 pounds, not yours, Kelsey. Bame, do you want to come back in? I have Antonia's bid at 850,000 pounds, and I can sell it at 850,000. It is your bid, Antonia. Yes, I'm selling it to you at 850,000. Sold. Lot 73 is the number. Congratulations. Lot 48, thank you, is the Richter glass and sold as viewed from the Liber collection. And we will start here at £190,000, 190,000, at £190,000 here, 200,000 now, at 200,000, at £200,000, 220,000, at £220,000 here, at £220,000 here, at £220,000 now, at £220,000, at £220,000 here for the Richter glass built, at £220,000 here, at 230,000 with Simon, at £230,000 here. At Simon's bid at £230,000 here. It's your bid, Simon, and I can sell it at £230,000. Simon's bid at £230,000 and any advance here at £230,000. All done. Your bid, Simon Shaw, at £230,000. Sold. Thank you very much. 44. Congratulations. And now we come to the fronts west, also sold as viewed. And this is lot 49. And we will start the bidding here at only £50,000. At 50,000, 55,000, 60,000 here, 65,000, at £65,000 here, at £65,000 here, at £65,000, only 70,000 now, at 70,000, 75,000, madam, at £75,000, ladies' bid at £75,000. It's a ladies' bid at £75,000. I have a bid here at £75,000 and I can sell it. Thank you very much, madam. Paddle 597, indeed. And I can sell it at £75,000 for the fronts west, unless there's any further advance. And selling, thank you very much, at £75,000. Thank you, 597. Thank you very much, madam. And now we come to the first of the works by Jagger in this evening's sale. Driver, Royal Artillery Memorial, one of the impressive trio of wall sculptures by Charles Sargent Jagger. To close our evening sale, the sculpture is one of only 3 maquette casts to exist of Jagger's masterpiece, which is one of Britain's finest war monuments. And we will start here, 150,000, 150,000, 160, 170, 170,000 pounds now. At 170,000 pounds, 180,000 now. At 180,000 pounds here, 180,000 pounds, 190,000 now. At 190,000 pounds here. At 190,000 pounds now. At 190,000 pounds here. At 190,000 pounds now. At £190,000. You're coming in at £190,000 for the Jagger, at £190,000, and against you, Fergus, 200,000 it is. On my left, at £200,000. Fergus Duff's bid at £200,000, and any advance here in the room at £200,000, and I can sell it at £200,000 unless there's any advance here in the room at 200,000. Sold. Thank you, Fergus. 78. And now we come to the second of the works by Jagger, lot 51, also sold as view, Wipers. And we will start here at 90,000, 90,000, 100,000 pounds here, 100,000, 110,000 pounds. At 110,000, 120,000 now. At 120,000 pounds now. At 120,000 pounds. At 120,000 pounds now. 120,000, 130,000 with Fergus again. At 130,000 is your bid, Fergus. Thank you very much. At 130,000 pounds, and against the rest of you in the room. And I can sell it at 130,000 pounds is your bid, Fergus, at 130. Sold. That's number 78. Congratulations. And now we come to lot 52, which is the last lot in this evening's sale, the Artillery Captain, also by Jagger. And we will start the bidding here at £80,000, at 80,000, £80,000 here, at 80,000, 85,000 now, at 85,000, 90,000, at £90,000 now, at £90,000, 95,000, at £95,000 now, at £95,000, at £95,000 now, at £95,000 now. At 95,000, you had to have the last one, Fergus. At £100,000, it was meant to be. At £100,000, it's Fergus's bid. At £100,000, unless there's any advance, we'll bring the hammer down at £100,000. Sold. Many congratulations. Thank you, Fergus. Thank you very much. And congratulations. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings tonight's proceedings to a close. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining and for bidding in this evening's sale. And do join us tomorrow, if you can, for our Modern and Contemporary Day auctions, which start at 12 noon and 2 p.m. respectively. And while we're celebrating the summer season, we look forward to welcoming you for the autumn season ahead and our sale of the Pauline Karpilas collection in London this September, and our September Surrealist sale in Paris in October. Thank you and good night.